Good morning, Rabbi Sai. First of all, what a daf today. What a daf. Geschmack. It's a hagdama to the one of the only dapim of Agadata in Zevachim. It's a shtickle. It's a Agadatish. We gotta say. I have to say it's a Agadatish. Shalom, what's your name?
Shimmy Newman.
Shimmy Newman. You look so familiar. From London, Manchester, and you made us see.
I see him in Manchester.
You're the featured speaker there. Wow. Oh, sure. Wait a minute. You said something changed your life. A whole lot. No, for real. How did it change your life?
I moved up classes in school.
You moved up classes in school. Wow. Because of MDY.
I think so, yeah.
You think so? Why? Because it gave you a better understanding of Gemara. It's unbelievable. No badness. No, we know a lot of kids come, but he's saying it as I do. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. I want to show you something. I showed this picture yesterday of Shimmy Braun. Now, somebody suffers a loss like this. Imagine his whole parnas, this whole thing is in this, and then you have to deal with insurance companies, insurance, not insurance, this, that, and all the orders. Forget the orders. You know, the people have...
You baked for months and months.
Months and months, everything is gone. They bake from... So, that was in the morning. Now, I want to show you, somebody sent me a video. It's mamish. You have to... He's busy. He's busy putting up signs and giving out things. This is the inside of the bakery, or boy sign. See if you can see any MDY signs anywhere. Oh, here's one. Oh, here's another one. There's no roof. The roof is off. You'll see soon. It's destroyed. The whole back. It goes into the other avenue over there in Brooklyn. Look at this. This is a calendar of Zevachim, MDY calendar on the wall, and they marked off what they learned, what they did learn. Unbelievable.
Everything got burned but MDY.
MDY, Rabbi Sai. We're finishing Zevachim. I felt a million times like I'm falling out. But you know what? I did it. Because of Eli Stefansky made it sound so simple and so delicious. Entertainment. I always tell people, you can say a pasuk a million times, nobody understands it. You put it in a song, people love it. Reb Eli, McKen Lannon. The Rebbe Shalom gave you the koyach to put it down. Clear and geschmack, and I'm proud to finish Zevachim with you, and I'm looking very much forward to Motzei Shabbos. I was there last year. The geschmack, the avira, the koyach hatoyre, the achdus. It was so beautiful. The Mitzvah Hashem will dance away, show the Sahara. We did the daf every day, then we finished. Looking forward, Rabbi Sai, Motzei Shabbos, January 9th.
Now, the thing, I think he started on Motzei Shabbos. He was one of the only people in the room that wasn't doing the daf. He came as a singer. And that's what happens. It's a dangerous place. Dangerous place. He's online right now. Yishkoyach Reb Shlomi Dasker. What a voice. You did a great job. Oh, that's Shimmy. Shimmy. Reb Shimmy, you have the cup for this? You have the cup to learn Torah? Wow. Okay, Givaldik. HaKadosh Baruch Hu should be memalech esroincha. He knows how to do it. He has a cheshbon. Reb Shimmy has a cheshbon. What's do we have over here? Good morning, Rebelli. I sincerely hope by the time you receive this message, you will be feeling a lot better and somewhat back to your normal schedule. I was very moved by your words. Oh, Rabbi, I just have to remind Oilam. Tonight, Bezer Hashem, I'm catching a flight to Miami. Not the direct one. Don't worry about it. How the paupers travel. The stopover thing. So, I will be saying another shir in English. That's what I am.
Just declare that.
Yeah, I have to declare. You hear, Ariel? Yeah. There'll be some. So, Bezer Hashem, at 6 o'clock, another shir in English here on Daf Kuf Beis, Dagadata, and then followed by Ma'ariv at 6:45, because usually the English shir only takes 45 minutes, yeah? And then the Hebrew shir at 7 o'clock, and then I go straight into the taxi to the airport. Shkoyach for all those who helped me and the whole zach with the traveling Yeshua Koyach. And I get there, and Michael Ben Chetrit said, I'm going to be there, I'm going to pick you up, and we're going to do a shiur on Thursday night in Miami, and a shiur on Sunday. The kids there's going to be at least 2 shiurim live, and then I'm coming back to Eretz Yisrael for like a week, because I figured it's not a nice thing. I know you guys miss me, so I could stay there. It'll be a geschmack to stay there, but no, I got to come back. So that it's a little hard to travel like that, but it's better for the shiur that I don't leave for such a long time with them.
Monday.
No, I'm something like that. No, I don't think I'll be back for Tuesday morning shiur. I think I'm missing it by an hour.
America. It's only 2 days. Like
No. It's the following week. It's a week. It's more than a week. It's a whole week.
Here for a week and a half.
Okay, fine. So what does he say? I was very moved by your words, your emotions, of course, the tears of the 7th night when you recalled the hardship of the years ago, but at the same time expressing Sheva V'Yidah, announcing a beautiful arrival of your grandson. The fact that you shared this with all your viewers both presents a present and far. It's true Achtos and Chaverschaft of MDY. Mazel Tov. Okay, Kitzer, he highlights, he says he also forgets stuff, and he has an index box that he has nu and yanim, he puts it in an index box, and he whatever. Cherish Nachas, Eli Seliger, Miracle Boy from London. The Masechta is sponsored by David Salmon, dedicated in memory of Avi Mori, Reb Shmuel Baruch Ben Reb Chaim Tzvi Doiv Zichron Levracha. Masechta sponsored anonymously. Nishmas Doiv Shlem Yehuda Zichron Levracha Ben Shmuel Chaim Zichron Levracha. Shogeg V'Lom Kodshim Kol Chayav, anonymous. L'zech Nishmas Nochem Tzvi Ben David, sponsored by Skybrook Capital in honor of our friends Meir Kovacs, Taki and Shamash Shlafrak for the devotional Torah study and the shiur. Joel Gedalius. Oh, Avada, a big simcha, big simcha. 2 MDY mishpachas, both from here in the Beis Medrash, Rebbe Nachem Ateh and Benzi Novak, their children got engaged. I mean, his son that got engaged is Naftali. I know him since he's a baby basically, and he's the one that helps his father with the laning now. It's a big thing, big simcha. He's our Bal Koira, he's our from day one in the shiur Menachem Ateh, and he was the last person, or him or no, I don't know, they could fight it out in Nida that took over here in the shiur when I was in America. The end of the beginning of my streak when I came back right before brachas. So Menachem Ateh, tremendous Talmud Chacham, knows how to learn very well. He gives me a lot of good haaras during and after shiur. Now he's already a little quieter, so he comes after shiur. You should have said, I think you learned wrong shot over there. He's usually right. Anana, Joel Gedalius, that's where I'm holding. Joel Gedalius, Lina Nishmas, my father, Jack Gedalius, Anonymous, Hatzlacha Baruch Nisu Begashmias, co-sponsors, Anonymous from London, Parnos of Shefa. Menachem, when's the vart? So unfortunately, I'm mamish. I would have loved to be there. The first thing when I woke up this morning is like, I should have said it differently. That if I were the person to make the halachas of avelos, not that you have to go to every chasana. You have to go to every chasana you don't want to go to, and you can't go to any chasana you do want to go to. That's a little better. Not just go to every chasana. No. The ones you really want to go to, because you want to go to some mamish close friends, that you can't go to. But every other guy.
I would make it even worse. Imagine you showing up at my chassan.
You have to make it a low float.
Yeah, you couldn't do that. Yeah,
Make it
you'd be insulting people.
Yeah, but Nanish from London, that's looking for us. Ariel Simon, Refuah Shleima Avi Mori Baruch Miriam. Weekly sponsors Leiba and Libby Tenenbaum, Refuah Shleima Bakarev Chaim Doiv and Gittel Schonblum. Weekly sponsor. Daily sponsors, Chesky and Heidi Reichman from Muncie.
Richmond.
Oh, sorry. Again, Chesky and Heidi, that's how you spell. Heidi, pronounce Chesky and Heidi Richmond from Muncie, Lilishmas Yisrael Tzvi B'Meir Richmond. Yoni Weiss, Lilishmas Yoni Ben Avram. Pertz Chaim Levin. L'zeichen Nishmas Hillel Yaakov Ben Bereleib Seidowitz Hashem Yimkom Damam by his great grandson. NDYR Day. Pertz Chaim Levin, Mazel Tov Rebbe Umayr Rebelli Shlita on your newest anacle with many more to come. Baruch Roifei Cholim. I didn't see all these yet, so it's good. It's shkoyach. Thank you. For the month, Refuah Shleima, Yonatan Eitan Ben Besheva Bracha, Refuah Shleima Mordechai Ben Esther, whoever it's going to be at the Shabbaton. He is extremely instrumental in many, many things of the Shabbaton, works on it Yom V'Layla, with everything going on in his life. So again, Refuah Shlema for Mordechai ben Esther. Refuah Hayela Daniel Zev ben Ayelet Esther. Turning of the daf, not yet. Avoisai, here we go. We are holding like 15 lines from the bottom, let's say. Umay Tanoi. So we had a brisa, we had a steer in the brisa. On the one hand, it seems like we could do a little chazara here. So we know that there are two things that were constants. There's the day of the Misa, there's the day of the Kivura. The day of the death and the day of the burial. The two different things, they don't have to be in the same day. The day of the Misa, the Torah says a person is an oinein. There is no question that it's a doiraisa, that a person has to act in a certain type of aninos. You don't make brachas, you eat food without a bracha, you don't put on tefillin, many other things. Can't eat kachim. What about the night? So that we had a machloikis. It's either like the day, that it's a doiraisa, or it steps down one madrega, it's a derabbanan. The day of the kvura, according to everybody, if it's the next day, the day after, 7 weeks later, the day of the kvura, according to everybody, there's aninos, but only midrabanan. What about the night? The night is either exactly like the day, that it's derabanan, or it drops down one level and it's 0. But we have a contradiction in the brisa. It seems like we're talking about the day of the kvura, the night. The night following the kvura, is it a problem to eat Pesach? Not a problem. So, is there aninos that night or not? So Rav Chizah comes along and says, you know what, it's a machlokes tanoi. It's not a contradiction, it's a machlokes tanoi. Umay tanoi, the sanyan mosai misoinin olav, till when does it one mourn? Kol hayoim. To me, kol hayoim means kol hayoim and not lailo. That's the Tanakama. You don't mourn at night. Rabbi Omer calls manshali nikbar. As long as he's not buried. And if you bury him, it seems like, and we're going to go into it, if you bury him, then from that moment of burial, even if it's 12 o'clock in the afternoon, from that moment on, there's no more aninos. It seems like Rebbe is being more makel. So the Gemara goes through step by step. What in the world are we talking about? If we're talking about the day of the death, so let's look at this chart again before we read this line. The day of the death, the Yom Misa. Everybody holds that during the day, Doiraisa. What about the night? It's either like the day, a Doiraisa, or at least it steps down one, it's a Derabanan. No one says that it's nothing. It's at least a Derabanan. So ask the Gemara, is there anybody that says it's worse than the Derabanan, that's less than the Derabanan? It's at least, you have to at least keep the Aninos at night, Midrabanan. Maybe even the Deraisa, but not less than the Derabanan. So how would both of them say that you have to be an Oinen until the night, and past the night you don't have to be an Oinen? Like, nobody, whether it's the Tanakama, Rebbe even says just up to the burial, and past the burial, nothing. And the Tanakama says up till Shkia, and past Shkia, nothing. Who holds that? It's not in this chart, at least. Rebbe says that it's up until the burial, and we're talking about the day of the death, not the day of the burial. But if you bury him, it becomes mutter right away. Wait a minute. It seems like from the pasuk v'achrisa kiyoy mar, the entire day is mar, it's bitter. Nobody holds that it's up until the burial. Oh, Rav Sheshes ayoyim kvurakai. We're talking about that the burial was on a different day than the death. And Memela, we're talking about a machloikis on the day of the burial. We're not. So we just had to prove we're not talking about the day of the misa. So we're talking about the day of the burial. And what's the machloikis? According to the Tanakama, the day of the burial will go, the aninos last all the way up to the night, and therefore you can't put on tefillin after the burial. There's people that don't put on tefillin the day of the, like after the kvura. No. And there's people, I'll never forget my friend's father's levaya. very traumatic experience for me as a teenager, going there, and right after the Levaya, they brought tefillin, and they had to wrap tefillin real quickly right before Shkia. That would be going according to Rebbe. The Rebbe says it's up until the Kvura, and it past the Kvura, you're not a Noiden anymore. Masker Rabbi Yosef, yesterday we learned that there's 4 categories. This is the day of the death, the day of the Kvura, then there's the day of the rumor, that somebody heard that his father is nifter, and the least of everything is the day that they gather the bones. So it says that when you hear about the maze, it's like the least on the list. It's not so severe. It's like kimalaket atzamais. So what do? What does it mean? Toivel, you go into the mikvah, that you heard about it. At 10 o'clock in the morning, at 11 o'clock you're ready in the mikvah. V'oichel b'kachim l'erev, and you could eat kachim that evening. So the one who hears is not like one who buried his father. It's like one who buried bones of his father. Michlal, so you can make a very simple diuk. Michlal the yom kvura afilu l'erev nami lo yachil. How come it doesn't say, oh, Shemal Mesai is like the Yom Kvura? I'll tell you why, because Yom Kvura you cannot eat kachim at night. It's only Malaket Atzamis, which is on the bottom of the list, you can eat kachim at night. But the day of the burial, you can't eat. But the problem is, if you can't eat at night, Homani. We never saw Shita like that yet. Tanakama says up until Shkia. Rebbe says up until the burial. But past Shkia, nobody holds you can't eat kachim. And now we're telling us that past Shkia you can't eat. This is like a third Shita. Elatar, it's at Mosai Misoinin of Kol Oisayoim Veleiloi. So you got to stick in a little. Rav Yosef says that you have to stick in a word to make this work, and it's tough to do. It doesn't say night. It says Kol Oisayoim, and everybody understands Yoim means day. When there's light outside, when it's dark, you don't have. No, I'm going to stick in the word night. And the Gemara doesn't like it at all, but he has no choice. He says, it means also the night. You have to do aninus at night. Rebbe Yoimek Holzman Shalei Nigbar Aval Nigbar Beloy Leiloi. And so Tanakama goes day and night, like a 24-hour thing, let's say. And Rebbe says no, up until Shkia. So like we're changing the shittas over here. Everything is moving. Until now, Tanakama says up until Shkia, Rebbe says until the Kivura, and now they both move up a step. Rebbe says up until the night, like we said before Tanakama, and the Tanakama who said up until the night, they really say including the night, because we just stuck in another word. Amru Kamei the Rabbi Yirmiyah, so they say this over to Rabbi Yirmiyah, Omar, Gavra Rabbak Rav Yosef Lema Hachi. How could such a great individual like Rav Yosef say something like this? It's interesting that in this Masechta, 60 days ago approximately, we learned, mamish, these words in Daf Mendalad, Birmia says about Rav Yosef, how could such a great person say something so whatever off and on a completely different sugya? So you're telling me Leiba the Rebbe Lekula, so you'd say Rebbe is the one who's Mekel Vatanya. Rebbe says only until the night. And Chacham say, no, it's including the night. So Rebbe is more Mekel. Vatanya Moshe Mesoid Olav. Hold on, what do you got here? I got to show this again. Just 1 second. For whatever.
I refuse to die before I finish the entire.
This went out on some groups because it's so long. So it was unfortunate. They missed the last part, the punchline. So they shut up. He died. Come on. And then I got a nasty email from a guy that saw it on one of these groups. And I realized after songs from the Torah has to be learned with a perda and an ema and a grusha. Yeah.
Knocked on my door. He said, "Yonkel, pack your bags, you're 104." But I told him no. You listen here, son. My learning schedule isn't done. I got a cigar in my mouth. I'm sliding down the chute. I'm reviewing the doff in my bathing suit.
I've finished all of Shas.
Put down your scythe and the spooky shoes. I'm meeting Ollie on the MDY cruise. I'm gonna finish the shots before I go. I'm staying alive for the Daf Yomi show. Till the heavens above, they're gonna have to wait. I'm making a scene by the buffet.
Now this is the part that for all those people that didn't see this. First of all, that's Benny. That's Chashan.
It will take us 14 days to reach the shore.
Turns out I still owe myself Daf Kuf in Zevachim.
Okay, so what does that have to do with the sugya? No, because he said it's 14 days to get to the shore. So according to Rebbe, the person will be anointed for 14 days until the Levaya. I think that was the shaykhs. So it's almost. Fine. Now, Vasanyo. Ad Moshe Misoyin Olav. When does Aninos last? Calls man sheini nikbar. As long as he's not buried on the cruise ship, there's Aninos. Afil mekan ba'da sor yomim. Even 10 days later, Divrei Rebbe. So Rebbe is the machmir. Rebbe says even 10 days. We're saying that Rebbe is the makil, that it's only until the night. And Chacham say it goes through the night. That they're machmir. Over it's the opposite. Chacham are saying it's 1 day, and Rebbe is the one that says 10 days. So says Rabbi Yomi, I don't like her. Yosef Shad. Ad Moshe Misoyin Olav. Koloi Sayoyim Biloi Leiba. The Aninos is that whole day, says the Tanakama, without the night. Like we said before. Rebbe Yoim calls man shloi nikbar. V'im nikbar toifes leiloi. He says it goes until. But if there's kvura, if there's a burial, then it's even the night. Oh, so that's what. Now we're going full circle. Reb Chizda says you should know that there's machlokes tanoim whether oinen goes into the night or not. That's the machlokes. And here it is, Rebbe and Chachamim, whether or not the day of the kvura does it grab the night. Rebbe says yes, Chachamim say no. Amruk made the Rava, but the Kama Rebbe. Oh, so we can do the math by ourselves. Look for a second. Oinen in the day of the kvura is the Rabbanon. The Rabbanon, according to everybody, what's the night? It's either the Rabbanon, the same as the day, or nothing. So now let's take that logic and go to the day of the death. The day of the death. It's the Raisa. So what's the night? So it depends. If you hold that the day of the Kvura is the Rabbanon, everybody holds the Rabbanon, but the night is the Rabbanon, meaning the night has to mimic the day. Night is like day. So if you hold that, you hold the day of the Kvura, the night is like the day, and Mela Aninos is the Rabbanon, not nothing, it's the Rabbanon. So what are you going to hold by the day of the Misa? That the night is the Deraisa. Okay, so now let's see inside. Oh, okay, I hear. Wait a minute. If Rebbe, you just said hold that the night of the Kvura, it still grabs and you have to do Aninos at night, then in other words, the night mimics the day. So by the day of the death, also the night should mimic the day. Oh, but the problem is, does he really hold that? Oh, so this is our Agadah for today. It's basically the entire day. This is the whole daf talks about this. What happened? So real quickly, a lot of psukim here. We're not going to read them all, but a very interesting parsha in the Torah. This is the day, the final day of the Miluim, of the inauguration. What?
He says that it has to be true because the only reason the Rabbanan would say the night on the Rabbanan the night follows is because they want to copy on the Doraisa that the night follows.
No, it's always Rabbanan always mimic. Yeah, right. Rabbanan always mimic the Doraisa. Yeah. So the final day of the Miluim, we know Nadav and Avihu were consumed by fire, and that day on Miluim, I don't know if we have the actual picture. We have a video of it. Oh, here. Yeah. The day of Miluim, there was at least 3 Seirim. One was the Rosh Chodesh one in the middle. One was for the 8 days of Miluim, and one was for the Nasi. Every day. What? Yeah. That day was Rosh Chodesh Nisan. Rosh Chodesh Nisan, the final day, the inauguration of the Mishkan. in the Midbar, Mishkan, a year, what, it was a year after, 2 years after they came out of Mitzrayim. So, one? Who said? David. You know, okay, so it's 1 year. Mine was like almost a year, right? Nisan to Nisan. Yeah, fine. What happened was that the Rosh Chodesh goat in the middle, the meat was consumed. Here, let's show you the video. Here we go. Now, Moshe Rabbeinu was upset. So why did they take the Rosh Chodesh meat, the chatos they get to eat, and instead put it on the fire? What's going on here? Why did you put it on the fire? So look at these psukim, incredible stuff, and we're going to be talking about all these words here, the back and forth conversation. That's today's daf. What happened there? It's a hard parsha to understand. Vayiktzov, the second line from the top. Vayiktzov v'alazar v'alisamar. He's upset. Bnei Aaron, the Anisarim, the leftover sons, 2 out of 4. Madua lo yechaldim zachados. How come you didn't eat the chatos? And he says, "B'makom hakodesh, ki kodesh kodashim." It's in the place of kachim. So we're going to say in the place. In other words, you didn't take it out. Here, l'chaper aleim. We're going to use that also because if you remember from here, the Rosh Chodesh comes to be mechaper on Klal Yisrael. Hey lo Yehuva is dom el hakodesh pnima. We're going to talk about that. You didn't even bring the blood inside, and blood inside the heichal ruins a carbon, but you didn't do that. So what's your excuse of burning the meat? The Kitzer vayidaber Ariel al Moshe, and he tells him, "Hein hayoim ekivus chatasam ezilasam v'tekrena oisi ke'ela." 3 lines from the bottom. Look at I had aninos today. V'tekrena oisi ke'ela. V'chad chatas hayoim hayita b'nei Hashem, and all of a sudden pasuk chaf vayishma Moshe vayita b'nei. You're right. You're 100% right. Backs down. What happened there? So that's today's sugya. So first of all, Hey Nayoim. This gets us into the sugya. Hey Nayoim. These today. Ani Hayoim Osur v'Layla Mutter. Me, Aaron HaKohen. Today in the daytime it's Osur v'Layla, but after Shkia Mutter. Well, the doira is bein b'Hayoim or bein b'Layla Osur, but in the future, it's always going to be asur to eat this carbon. Divrei Rabbi Yehuda. Let me ask you a question. Think about this without looking in the Mesivta. Why is today different than any other year? Manashtana alayla azeh, the first year of the inauguration of the Mishkan. Aaron says, this year I could eat it after Shkia, but next year I wouldn't be able to eat it after Shkia. In 100 years from now, never. Just this year. Why just this year? Havas? No. In 100 years from now, Ainen. No, not him. Anybody else. He's saying, if I was an oin in 100 years from now, I wouldn't. Today I am. What? No, but then also what? No. Says Rashi. Think about it. There was only 3 kohanim around, and they were all oin in him. There's nobody else. And in a regular year, you're gonna have other kohanim, Bezer Hashem. So if you have one kohen that's oinin, you have another family that's not oinin. But this is the first year of kohanim. So what's the question? Who else was alive then? Pinchas, and he wasn't a Noinan.
He wasn't a either yet.
So that's what. Very good. That's what the Gemara answers. Very good. So that's today's sugya. So Rebbe Omer, but Rebbe argues. Rebbe's Omer, Aninus Laila Eino Medivir Torah Elo Medivir Soifrim. And then he comes and says that night is only Midrabanan. Akol Panim Ba'ifin. You see, Mefurish, Rebbe says it's only the Rabbanon at night. And you're telling me that according to Rebbe, our Svara told us, logic tells us that according to Rebbe, it should be a Dairaisa, mimics the day. Rabbanon do a Gzeira the night, like the day, it should be the same. And over here he says, no, it's only the Rabbanon. Says Gemara Leilam, the Rabbanon, according to Rebbe, you're right. The night is only the Rabbanon. And Chachamim said that there's Aninus at night. Sometimes Chachamim make their Gzeira even stronger than the Torah. So here goes the sugya. It says the lashon of tzivui. I was commanded. Kichein tzuveisi, kasher tziveisi, kasher tziva Hashem. Real quickly, we don't need to see the whole thing, but In addition to the Rosh Chodesh that we're talking about, we're not even talking about the other one so much. Yeah, we will talk a little bit. But there was a mincha given, and there was shlamim. So, it says by mincha, look over here, chuas ha-mincha, and then it says all the way in the bottom, kichein tzuvesi. It also says, I wanted you to eat this thing, even though you're an oinen. I commanded you, Aaron. And then all the way at the end it says, kasher tziva Hashem. So the Gemara explains all the Lashonis. Kichein tzuvesi, ba'aninu tzichlu. I wanted you to eat them karba mincha, the first pasuk that I showed you, when you're in oinen. Kasher tzuvesi b'shas ma'isor melem. He said it when there was a problem of the Misa of Nadav Avihu. He was at Oinen. Shas Maisa, as he was Oinen. I said, Kasher Tziveh, not before. I said, I knew you're an Oinen, I want you to eat it. Kasher Tziveh Hashem, what does it mean? Hashem commanded. I'm not making this up for my own. Where?
You have Omer
No. Oh, yeah, I do. Shas Maisa Omer Lohen. I said that before. Kasher Tziveh Hashem, I'm not saying it on my own. Fine. Birimini. As a Gemara, I have a contradiction. Mipnei aninus nisrfa. What?
What kind of drasha is that?
Which one?
Lo me'alai ani omer?
Yeah, no, it's not a drasha. You should know, Aaron, I'm not saying this, I didn't make it up. It's not a boich svara, it's from the Rebbeinu Shalom himself. He told me to tell you that...
You didn't have to say that every time. I mean, it was given, no?
No, sometimes it was a svara against Aaron's svara. In a second, Aaron is using a svara. He beat him with the svara. Aaron wins with logic. Not from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He didn't see. Here. Remaining, mipnei aninus nisrfa. You burned it because of the aninus. L'kach nemar ko'ela. Because of the aninus. But we said a second ago that a oinen is chayiv to eat. What do you mean? You burnt it because you're oinen. Because you're oinen, you don't have to eat it. No, oinen does have to eat it. Amar Shmuel leikashi. Horeb Yehuda, Horeb Nechemia. Okay, so now we're going to deal with Reb Nechemia a lot. Reb Nechemia says that it's also for oinen to eat, and Reb Yehuda says it's mutter for oinen to eat. The Sanya, aninus orfuah, lekach nemar ko'ela. Dear Reb Nechemia. Reb Nechemia says that oinen does not eat a carbon. Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Shimon, Oimer, Tuman is Rafa. No, oinen does eat. So why did Aaron HaKohen burn it? Because it touched a dead mouse, let's say. There was a certain tumah that came in b'shoigig, and they had to burn it. Nothing to do with the aninus. Shemata Oimer b'nei aninus nisrfa. Oh, and here he asks him 3 questions, and the Gemara is going to address these 3 questions on Amud Beis. So let's remember. Here are the 3 simple questions. I'll prove to you that there's not a problem with aninus. Why? If it's aninus, look at these 3 guys. Why did they eat 2 out of 3? Why did they burn 1 out of 3? What's going on there? If he's a oinen, burn them all. Oh, so one got tamei. 1. That explains why 1 is different than all 3. The Rosh Chodesh one got tamei. Dovar acher. Another question. Let's say he's a oinen. Hayeroy lachlan lerev. According to Rosh Shimon, oinen eats at night. According to Rabbi Yehuda, it's a special heter to eat at night. So just wait until the night and eat it. Dovar acher. Another question. What are you telling me? That he's the only oinen around? Give it to Pinchas. What? Another Venaviu were Pinchas's nephews. Huh? Yeah, uncle, sorry. He was their nephew. Rav Omar, Idi Reb Nechemia. So Rav says no, it could go according to Reb Nechemia, no contradiction. That Reb Nechemia says it's also for a oinen to eat. But like Ashi, Kamikachi Shah, Kamikachi Dairis. This is a special inauguration, korbanos. Never happened again that we have these korbanos. So okay, it will matter. But later the other with mashma, you can't eat at night. That's for future generations. Oinen doesn't eat at night. Rabbi Nechemia, and now we go into like mamish fast stuff, just the back and forth. And what's interesting, it's like a freebie because a lot of it is going to be repeated word for word. I'll show you where it's different. But just the back and forth is also very simple. Rabbi Nechemia, what's going on in the psukim? How does each one explain the psukim? Rabbeinu asked him, how come you didn't eat the Rosh Chodesh carbon? Let me help you out. You know, it says in the pasuk over here. We had a sugi about this. If you bring A carbon in Rish Chodesh, Chadas Rish Chodesh, where do you shecht it? Where do you do all the avodah? Inside the heichal or outside? B'chutz, outside. It's a chatos. So if you take the blood and bring it into the heichal, into the mishkan, into the heichal, it makes the whole carbon possible. Says Moshe Rabbeinu, I'll give you some excuses here. I'll give you some reasons why you burnt it. Maybe you brought it all the way inside, like here. Just gewaldige art. You take this for granted, this whole AI thing. Imagine 5 years ago to see the Mishnah like this, and the colors of this. Omar loy, and Aaron answers him back. Hein loy huva zdama. This whole conversation we're going to have again. Mamish word for word. No, that is not the issue. I did not bring it in. Maybe you went outside of the borders of the Mishkan. Maybe it's chutz. It becomes possible when it goes outside. No, it's inside. Maybe you were oinen when you were makriv and you passed. You think my children were makriv? Ani crafty. What does that mean, ani crafty? I'm a kohen gadol. I'm allowed to be makriv baninos. So Moshe tells him, hey, Leuva is dama. Okay, we went through that problem. That wasn't a problem. Uba kodesh hoysa, we went through that problem. How come you didn't eat it when you're an oinen? Omar loy. So he says, look what happened to me today. I'm an oinen, I lost my 2 children. Maybe what you heard is on the animals, the korbanos that come today only, once in a lifetime. But if you're talking about the carbon of Rish Chodesh that we're talking about, I have a very simple kavachomer. This is logic. The famous pasuk of Meiser Sheni, you take the fruit and you give yourself, but you have to make sure that on what years? On the year after the 3rd year and the year after the 6th year. In other words, the 4th and the 7th year, you have to be mevar everything. You have to get rid of the house. You have to say vidui. I didn't eat it when I was a oinen. So you can eat meiser akal. It's a low level gedusha. A Yisrael eats meiser sheni in Yerushalayim. But when a person is a oinen, when a kohen is a oinen, a person he can't eat from it. Any person, because you like kochkin. So certainly a chatos, when a person is oinen, cannot eat from it. Miyad vayishma Moshe v'yita beinov. Moshe accepted it and he liked it. Hoida, he admitted to him, v'loy boish Moshe loymer loy shamati. He wasn't embarrassed to say, excuses. Like when you're embarrassed, you get caught red-handed, that you didn't know halacha. I didn't. No. I heard it and I forgot it. Embarrassing stuff. What's the pshat? Moshe Rabbeinu was honor of Kol Adam, so what's the big deal? So the biggest honor in the world. He said that. Look at this Targum Yonason, maybe it explains it a little bit. Vayishma Moshe vayita beinov. The Targum Yonason. Ushama Moshe ushvar kadomi. Moshe heard it and he liked it. Va'api kroiza. He put out a kol koira, peshkevilin. I know this Allah misilchas amini. I'm the one that forgot this halacha. Va'ar nochi itkar yosali. This is a sometimes people say, you're right. You're right is not as strong as I'm wrong. You're right. Okay, you're right. I'm also right. Whatever you think in your head, I'm wrong. I messed up. For the Gal Adar, that the new Kol HaTorah Kula, not Kol HaTorah Kula, like everything that ever was written and not written, he knew about Peh, and all of a sudden he forgot. It's embarrassing. Imagine, I'm thinking now, you come here into the Koilel and you talk to some of these guys that know Shas Bal Peh, word for word, you do anything, and you catch them on a mistake. You know how embarrassing it is for them that they don't remember like a mafurish a thing? It's embarrassing. And I've had situations where they start, they're not gonna, one of them is very nope, forgot, these mamas are big on of whatever. They're all on of him. I'm just saying it's embarrassing. This is your life, and you score 99s on Shas, and all of a sudden, some Shlomazel finds that you don't know. It's like, We're not holding, but just imagine. Anyways, and to write a whole zettel in the streets, I forgot. Okay, that's the thing. Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Shimon, Eicha B'Tatzlu. No. So now we understand how Rabbi Nechemia says all the psukim. Now let's do it all over again. This is how they read the psukim. I'm asking you, Moshe Rabbeinu, to Aaron HaKohen, why didn't you eat the chatas? Is it possible that the blood went inside the heichal and that ruined the chatas? It never went inside the heichal. Maybe he took the blood outside of the Beis Hamikdash, the Mishkan. It was always inside, or maybe they take out the word hein here. I didn't even look, but I'm assuming that they take it out. Okay. It was in the Kodesh. Maybe you were makriv the carbon when you were oiden. Amarloi, Moshe, my sons were makriv. The possible aninos, anir graftia amakoin gadol. Don't worry about it. Listen to this, Rabbi Yisai. Here it changes. V'dilma agav meraychu pashatubu vitmoi. Maybe because you were morer, you were bitzar, and when a person is bitzar, pashatubu vitami. Maybe because of your tsar, you were pesheya and you let Tumah touch the carbon. The following line reminds me of the famous story. Everybody attributes it to this person, that person. Let's say it's the Kloisenberger Rebbe. Let's say his wife murdered all his children. I don't remember 10 children. 10 children murdered. Parnasa gone, Hasidim gone, everything. And he looks at the Rebbeinu Shalom and says, Rebbeinu Shalom, you took everything away from me. You took my wife, you took my children, you took my parents, you took my chassid, everything. But you cannot take one thing. There's one thing you can never take away from me, and that is my love to you. I love you, the Rebbeinu Shalom. Love you. He says, Aaron HaKohen says, what? You think because I had this loss, I'm going to drop my guard? I'm going to be pesheya with Tumah? Omar loy Moshe. What? Eino mevadoi. Eino mevadoi of Shimi Braun. Exactly. You can take my matzah bakery. You can burn it to the ground. You're never going to take away my love to you. Omar loy Moshe. No, this guy, seriously, think about it. The guy in Borough Park takes matzahs, but he doesn't realize how much chizuk he's giving, not just today. Who knows? 5 years from now, somebody has a similar thing. The Sanal Gantz's house burned down to the ground. And people go through tsaras in their life. And he says, this guy, when he had his tsara, how did he act? Was he bitter against Hashem? He was running around in the streets and giving out Eino Mevadei cards to people and busy with the printer. Instead of dealing with insurance adjusters, he's dealing with the printer, how big the sign is going to be, the Eino Mevadei in front of his store. It's a chizuk, the Klal Yisrael. It is a Kiddush Hashem. Omeloi, Moshe, really, this is how you think of me? I thought about a Moridik story. I love saying this Maisa. Reb Shalom Zalman Auerbach is with his Rebbetzin in the hospital, and an Neshama leaves. He gets into the elevator. 60 seconds later, he's out. Called the Chaver Kadisha, he's out, he goes into the elevator down. The elevator stops on the 6th floor, and a Talmud of his walks in and says, Rebbe, I just had a baby boy, Mazel Tov. And he looks at him and says, Mazel Tov, how's your wife doing? How much did the baby weigh? And this is him. A minute ago, his wife was nifter. And they say that he never yelled at her, whatever. Great relationship. And he doesn't have to ask her for Mechila. He didn't have to ask her for Mechila, that's what I was saying. Don't have to ask for Mechila. Wow. Anyway, because he asked her, maybe he asked her. And he said, just because I'm bitzar, he says, just because I'm bitzar, just because, he's mecholek on him. Listen, so he's mecholek on him. Oh, okay, fine. Fine, whatever. Let me just finish this. I'm crying about the story I'm saying, and I said it last night. The second night, I did cry last night. I'm thinking about the godless of the person. And no, he says, he tells his Talmud after, another Talmud was with him. He says, just because I'm bitzar, so this guy has to suffer. I'm bitzar. Aaron HaKohen lost his 2 sons. So that's why I'm going to lose track of what's going on here. And he says, listen to this lush of the Keren Oisik Eile, Vafilu Eile V'Ko Eile, even double up the tsar. 4 children dead. Ein ani mevaze kodesh shamayim. I will never mevaze the kodesh shamayim. Omar Loi, so Moshe tells Aaron HaKohen, V'hein lo yuves domo, v'kodesh hoyso, chod torch lois, v'kodesh, everything is great. But I didn't see chlose. How come you didn't eat what you ate? Omar Loi, Shem Ali Shamata Lebelayla. Oh, before they said maybe you didn't hear this generation, future generation. Now he's saying maybe you only heard at night. And maybe at night you're allowed to eat, but during the day, let's make a simple kavachayim. You can eat ma'aser sheni, ba'aninos, kodesh chomer, so kodesh which is much chomer. Like kosher, certainly you can't eat it when you're annoyed. Can't eat it. Yad vayishma Moshe liyita be'enov dafkuf aleph on the base. Like boish Moshe loyim el shamati. Moshe Rabbeinu wasn't embarrassed to say I didn't hear el shamati v'shachachti. Turning of the daf, Adar Global special experts in international payments. Yishur koyach. Oh, guest. Who do we have today? Real quickly. You're a guest, no? Shalom Aleichem. What's your name? Siegelstein. Oh. Oh, yeah. Email. No, you didn't. Yeah, of course. Shalom Aleichem from Las Vegas. Wow. Your first time here? Shalom Aleichem. Who else? You're not? Oh, Shalom Aleichem. I know you look very, very familiar. From where? Oh, Shalom Aleichem. Very good. You're related? No? His father. Oh! Shalom Aleichem, how you doing? So you do the daf or just him? I'm a quick chopper.
Someone else in the back?
Who else? Who else?
Is there anyone?
Oh, you guys. I saw you guys coming in. The yeshiva guys. Where are you from? What yeshiva? A koilel. Wow. Shalom Aleichem. What's your name? Where was the Shalom Aleichem? And you? From? Both of you live here? Shalom Aleichem. Well, obviously, you're koilel, so you're Givaldic. Okay, cool. Rabbi Isai. Coming up, we got to get to the video again. Murder video. You're gonna love it. If we could get there. We started a little late. No? What time did we late? No, we didn't. No. Here's the question. Iboilu, 2 lines from the top. New question. Iboilu. L'shayu ilu michla b'urta. Iboilu l'shayu ilu not iboilu. Iboilu l'shayu ilu michla b'urta. They should have waited until the night to eat it, like we asked before. The same question we asked before. Okay, you can't eat it now. So wait until the nighttime. Says Gemara, Tuma ba'onis basa. There's nothing to do with them. It has to do with the Tuma. It was Tameh, and they can't eat it. The reason why the Torah says, who's Rabbanon? Reb Shimon, Reb Yehuda. It says the day. Why? Because at night it's mutter to eat. According to Reb Nechemia, that at night you cannot eat. Aoinin cannot eat. It goes into the night. Why does the Torah say ayoim? Oh, it's not talking about the person eating, not eating. We're talking about the carbon Rosh Chodesh. That they were makrivid the Rosh Chodesh today, but it was not special for today. It's a question. My sons were makrivid. Ani krafti. So now we're going back to the 3 questions that we had before. How come they didn't? You have 3 goats. Burn all 3 or eat all 3. Why did you pick the Rosh Chodesh? You just put it up on the screen. Why not? So remember again. The sar is the one of the each nasi had to bring. Chatos. The 8th day, Darash, Sar Rosh Chodesh. That's the Rosh Chodesh one. Yachal Shlashim Nisrafu. Maybe all 3 were burnt at that story. Tamaloi Mabin Saraf is singular. 1 out of the 3 is burnt. Echad Nisrafu Lo Shlashim Nisrafu. Darash. What's the double lashon? Shtei Drishas Lama. Amar Lo Mepnei Machad Zu Nisrafu Veilu Menachos. How come only 1 was burnt and the other one's not? Many days I don't know which one was burnt. This came for the sin of the community. We know that the Rosh Chodesh, I don't remember we had the whole sugi, I think it was in Shavuos, yes. Look at all this. Remember, the Betchila, Basoif, the whole thing, the Rosh Chodesh. Okay. Rosh Chodesh comes in Chaper on the Voikach, on the Voin of the community. Says the Gemara, Shapir Kamrile, Reb Shimon Yehuda said very good. If it's like you're saying, they're saying that they burnt the carbon because of tumah, but you say that they burned it because of aninus. So then all three have to be burned. There's a difference between the Rosh Chodesh that's for generations to come. Every single year, every single month, you have to bring a carbon Rosh Chodesh. But these were special. The 8th and the Sar Nachshon, no. Omar Mar, you should have eaten that night. Shapir Kamarle, it's a great question. Because Savar Ninus Laila Dairaisa. Now Ninus is Dairaisa, so you can't eat it at night. Dover Acher. You're telling me that the only kind of around was Pinchas. Just real quickly, a line. It should never be used, this thing. But I heard once that when there's a tragedy, especially like sometimes there's a big tragedy, implies whatever it is, so they bring in the professionals, people that know. And what do they do, the professionals? Grieving counselors. What does a grieving counselor do? I always wonder, like, what's the magic line that you tell somebody? I don't know if this is true. I heard they don't even say anything. They stand there next to them. They get close to them. They don't say. There's nothing to say now. What is it to say? Let the guy grieve, but you have to be there. You have to be there. It's a thing to know. Certainly don't read him a shidduch at that point and whatever, and just there. What? Like in a shiva. Exactly. Poisum. You wait for the Avel to start speaking. Don't start with it.
Someone who just got divorced. Also, don't read the shidduch.
Okay, that's something else. Yeah. Okay. I don't want to say what I was going to say. Okay, it's not going well. Like Rebbe Lazar, the Omer Rebbe Lazar, Omer Rebbe Chanina. Loinis Kain Pinchas. This is what Rebbe Nachman said. A bunch of people. Pinchas was not a Kohen. He wasn't born a Kohen. He became a Kohen at Shahar Rogel Zimri. Look at the psukim here. It says Pinchas ben Elazar ben Aaron HaKohen when he killed Zimri. Now, Bekhanu's Kinos, he's a Kanoi. It's great for the video. This Kanoim and this Kanoim. But in my courtroom, Tzaddik, or whatever. Yeah. Hidini Noisin Loy is Brisi Shalom. V'hoisa Loyu Lazaroi Achrav Bris Kuhuna Soilam. Kohen forever. This is what I'm giving him. When? After Pasuk Yud Aleph, when the Torah says he was a Kanoi and he killed him, then he becomes a Kuhuna Soilam. Rav Ashi Omar. Listen to this. Rav Ashi Omar Chesam Sholim Ben Ashvatim. Mashiach will not come until the shalom between the Shvatim. Mashiach will not come until the Ashkenazim and the Sfardim get along, and the Hasidim and the Litvaks get along, and the Satmars and the Datilumis get along. And be'emes, Mashiach will not come until this shalom bein hashvatim. And I think every single person has a responsibility to maybe invite your Datilumi, invite the Satmar to your house, and vice versa. And because Mashiach, the Yeshiva Bachar and Chayalim with this, and I know they're upset about that, and he's upset about this. Tachlis, Mashiach won't come until. And I want to show you this video, but last night I had the schus to be by Avremi Cohen's Shiva to hear this thing. The schus was that I heard this. Avremi told me that a month ago he went to his brother and he said, "You haven't spoken to Ta in over 2 years. You haven't seen him or spoken to him. You need to call him up." He says, "Yeah, but this, that." He says, "All these excuses. You have kibbud aveim, and whatever happened, and you got to make up with him. What about your kids that don't know him?" He says, "No, if that's the Rav, the Kitzer, I spoke to the brother. He was there, and the brother told me the whole Maisa." He said he went and he spoke to the Rav, and the Rav said, "Yeah, you have to go. There's times that, okay, you take a little step back, but now it's time to jump in." So he calls up his father, he wants to meet with him. So he meets with him and the kids thought that the grandfather is mamish a funny guy. They loved him. I forgot, Perello. How do you say it in Spanish? His name is Perello. I forgot already how he called him. Abuelo. They start calling him Abuelo, and they were laughing and singing. And he says, "I'm taking you to Pirat Ha'adam. You're coming to the Red Pirate. Buy anything you want here." And the kids were buying stuff, and they were in heaven. And they started saying, "We want to go to Puello." So he had to drive down to Tveria and take him to Puello. This happened 2 weeks ago. Verstehst? After 2 years, they made shalom. And had he been nifter without this shalom, imagine. And I found out he was only 56 years old when he was nifter. So, Rabbi Isai, Mashiach won't come until this shalom, especially between children and parents. And yes, his father's 56 years old. I know it sounds, but yeah. And there are people in the shir watching right now that don't speak to their children. And there's children that watching the shir don't speak to their fathers. You never know. You never know what happens. And it's always kedai to make shalom. And you make a step forwards towards shalom. And now I want to show you this video. It's beautiful. Check this out. It's mamish beautiful. Let's start from...
הילי יעקב!
קומו עכשיו לכבוד התורה, למען הילדים שלכם, שימו ש"ס פיקודי.
It's a shame to fight. Just join Daf Yomi now. This Chaskas HaTorah.
MDY is a family. Their mitzvah v'Torah, their mitzvah v'Torah. The global cause of Torah unity. Their mitzvah v'Torah, their mitzvah v'Torah.
Oh. So yeah, let's just finish this for a second. By the way, something like this, you put in your status, and you say, Menachas is starting in 18 days, you got to join Daf Yomi. So it's easy, just easy. Shenemar, yes, you make shalom. Shenemar, ve'yishma Pinchas HaKohen u'nesi'eh Eida v'roshi Alfei Yisrael. That, oh, I forgot to tell you the story. Rav Ashi Yomish Sam Shalom ben Ashvatim. Real quickly, there was a fight in Klal Yisrael. Bnei Gad and Bnei Reuven, who were not in Eretz Yisrael, they built a mizbeach. So Klal Yisrael wanted to wipe them out. If you mess up, you build a mizbeach outside of it, wipe them out. So they came. So Pinchas went to see what's going on, and he said, we're doing it on purpose so that future generations know that we're Yidden. They'll never know. They'll be mizboil ben Agoyim. They won't know. They'll remember this, that there was a war, that we put up a mizbeach, shaloi halacha, we did it on purpose, against the halacha, and you came to fight us. And Pinchas said, okay, to remember. And he said, okay, we're going to make shalom, peace, and that's Vayishma Pinchas HaKohen u'nesi'eh Eida v'roshi Alfei Yisrael. They accepted it, they made peace. V'doch nami v'oksiv oisel lo yelazari achrov. Ki ksiv ahu, b'brachu d'chsiv. V'idoch, should I explain or we got to go? V'idoch nami hoksiv vayishma Pinchas HaKohen. I'll say it tomorrow. Ahu, liyachez zari achrov Rabboisai. Have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.